Hi everybody, Sam White here, founder at Shakespeare in Detroit, and welcome to our YouTube channel. If you haven't already, I want to invite you to subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss any digital content coming from your favorite classical theater here in the beloved city of Detroit. Speaking of content, I have a really cool announcement for all of our Patreon members. If you are a Patreon member and you give $10 or more to Shakespeare in Detroit, you will receive exclusive access to our filmed youth production of Julius Caesar, which is really exciting. That's right, October 7th, 2024, the film will be uploaded to Patreon. You'll get a private link that will then link you to the Julius Caesar that we just did in August that we filmed exclusively for YouTube. You'll get a private link for Patreon members only. Again, if you give $10 or more. And don't worry. If you're like, oh my goodness, I want to see this film, but I'm not a Patreon member yet. You can totally become a member right now for $10 or more. And you can get a link to that video on October 7th, 2024. Now, why do we ask you to join our membership program? Well, first and foremost, our membership program helps sustain our work. Our membership program on Patreon, and we've been on Patreon for about 4 or 5 years, that allows us to have income coming into the organization. We are a nonprofit organization that is consistent, right? And so a lot of nonprofit organizations, including Shakespeare in Detroit, we write grants and we have sponsorships and we ask for individual donations. But platforms like Patreon allow us to have consistent income so that we can keep producing amazing work, both professional and youth productions for our community, for our beloved Detroit, my hometown. So please, if you can, and you're able to afford $10 a month or $20 a month, and there's tiers that go even higher than that, please consider donating so that you can see the film October 7th when it is released on Patreon. And the film will be available to Patreon members through the end of this year, through the end of 2024. But again, you have to be a Patreon member for $10 or more a month. Now, if you want to join our membership program, which we do have other tiers for $1 a month or for $5 a month, even though you won't have access to the film this time around, we do have other perks. For example, we have monthly contests at least once a month or sometimes every other month. And no matter what tier you are signed up for, if you win the contest, you are totally able to win a really cool perk and prize. And we have some really cool perks and prizes, especially for those of you who love Detroit, who love Shakespeare. So it's really worth becoming a member and finding the tier, $1 a month, $5 a month, $10 a month, $20 a month, $50 a month, or $100 a month that fits your budget. Because no matter where you fall on the tier system that Patreon has set up for our organization and other organizations and artists, you get some really cool perks. But this time around, I want to announce one awesome, amazing perk for those who are on Patreon for $10 or more. You get to see Julius Caesar, which was sponsored by the Gilbert Family Foundation and the Max M. and Marjorie S. Fisher Foundation. We performed the show live at Clark Park in Detroit in August, but before we did that, we filmed the production. The play is by William Shakespeare, of course, and the youth production this past August was directed by the amazing Asia Mark, who you may have seen in some of our plays as an actor. Asia performed in our As You Like It, which took place in May of this year. She was also in our 12th Night in 2018. And I've worked with Asia outside of Shakespeare in Detroit. And she's an amazing human, a wonderful, talented artist. And I'm sure you want to see her Shakespeare directorial debut with Julius Caesar. So again, make sure you sign up for Patreon for $10 or more so you can see the film. It's beautifully shot, and I can't wait for you to see it. We shot it here at Mary Grove, which is our home base. If you haven't been following Shakespeare in Detroit, no problem. I'll let you know now that this is our headquarters. We have our office here, which is where I'm sitting, and then we also have a costume shop. And this is where we do our sort of behind the scenes work at Shakespeare in Detroit. We also rehearse here most of the time for both our professional productions and our youth productions. And we host special events here sometimes. And they also have here at Mary Grove, which is a hub for many arts organizations, other nonprofits, and also for the University of Michigan, the school at Marygrove. It's a beautiful campus that used to be a college that now a lot of us utilize and are able to take advantage of. And there's a theater here. The theater is actually right above the space where I'm sitting right now, and that's where we filmed Julius Caesar. So it's a lovely film. It's worth signing up for our Patreon program because you get, like I said, many perks, but beyond the perks, you're helping Shakespeare in Detroit earn consistent income. And especially nowadays, post-COVID, consistent income is so important to helping us sustain the work that we do here in Detroit, here in the community, for our youth, for our neighbors, for residents, and for those surrounding residents in Metro Detroit as well. And so yeah, if you would like to support Shakespeare in Detroit on a monthly basis, on a consistent basis, and get some really cool perks in return, in addition to insider news, discounts to some of our professional events, you want to make sure that you become a Patreon member. So that's our big news. We are going to have an amazing film available to Patreon members who give $10 or more on October 7th. You don't want to miss it. I'm so happy that you clicked on this video. And again, if you haven't already, you want to make sure to subscribe. And there's more to come here on YouTube from Shakespeare in Detroit and beyond. So don't wait. Hit that subscribe button now, and I'll see you really, really soon. Bye.